If you're looking for a works every time, foolproof makeup application technique, then this is the video for you. I will walk you through this makeup look step by step, and this is the process that you can follow every day. So easy, and anyone can do it. Stick around to see how. So today I'm going to run through a reliable works every time formula for applying your everyday makeup. I am going to use some new products today as well from the drugstore, so just to prove that if something goes wrong, we'll figure out how to fix it on the way. So the foundation I'm using, and it's for the first time today, is the Maybelline Superstay 30 Hour Lumi Matte Foundation, and this is in the shade 118. Now I am going to pump this out onto my palette, and I noticed earlier that this foundation is actually very dry. It is a Lumi Matte, so it's a matte foundation, and what I did earlier was I put a little flat-ended brush into the foundation like this, and I just sort of tested it on the back of my hand to see how it was going to apply. And what I noticed was that it was a little bit drier than a standard foundation. It dries down very fast, and I was a bit concerned about that. So in order to counteract the dryness of it, I am going to use a serum primer. I'm going to use this Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer, and we are hopefully going to find that this prevents the foundation from looking too dry immediately. So we'll start with the serum. So again, I am going to test it first on the back of my hand to see how far it spreads before we decide how much to apply on the face. I'm going to apply it to my hands first, and I am going to apply that sized amount to my face and see how we get on. I think this is going to be enough. I would say that amount is on the cautious side, so it hasn't applied very thickly actually, but that's good because the first time we're using it, we don't want to use too much. Okay, so now we're ready to go in with our foundation, and I'm going to apply this from the palette with a brush. Just going to start on the cheek area and see how it applies before we go to the more difficult zones, because I'm not sure how dry this is going to be. I've got a feeling it's going to dry down really fast. Okay, that's actually going on better than I expected. I don't know if the serum primer has helped us out here, but it isn't going on as drying and as patchy as I was expecting. I don't have very much on at the moment. I just sort of dipped my brush gently and kind of knocked off any excess on the palette. So we only have a light covering so far, and what I'm going to do is sit back and see whether we need to apply any more. Now you could happily stop there. I am just going to go in with a little bit extra coverage, but I think this is actually perfectly enough. So I've just built it up a little bit more on this side so you can see the difference that makes. So I'll just even this up now, and then we'll move on to our bronzer. Now, this next step of using the bronzer, I think, has had the most dramatic impact on my finished makeup look, and it really elevates you from being an everyday person putting their makeup on to looking like a professional makeup artist. So I'm going to today use this Milani. It's a cream bronzer, and it's called Cheek Kiss, and it's in the shade 110 Hey Honey. And the way I always apply my bronzer is to go around my hairline and then down and under my cheekbones. So this is going to vary a little bit depending on the shape of your face. The kind of general object here is to make your face look I guess a more harmonious shape. So my face is a bit on the longer side, so I like to go across the forehead. I want some definition on my cheekbones here, and then if I feel like it, I can cast a little bit down on my chin here. And then once we have done the contouring around the edge, then it's good to go in a little bit on the cheeks and on the nose to create that kind of total harmony. You can chisel along your jaw, but I Exercise caution with this because you don't want a brown stripe alongside your cheek that is going to show up in photographs or anywhere you're going to see it later and regret it. Also flattering is to put a little bit of the bronzer into your eyes. And you'll see right there, that has immediately elevated us up into the professional makeup zone. Now, this is a totally optional step, but I am going to go around with some powder bronzer as well to set in the cream bronzer. And again, just follow around the same pattern as before, around the hairline, under the cheekbones, across the eyelids, and on the nose, and perhaps on the chin. And just make sure that it's all perfectly blended. Make sure you go into your hairline so you don't have any white halo effect around your hair. So now we can move on to the fun stages, which is using colour. And the next part I'm going to do is going to be my cheeks. Now, just because I am a little bit extra, I like to go in with both a cream and a powder product on my cheeks. You can use one or the other or both. It is entirely up to you. I am going to start with this cream blush from Studio London. This is the Flaunt for Flawless blush stick in Precious Pink. And I'm going to apply this directly to my cheeks and work this in with my fingertips. Be careful when doing this that you aren't using a highly pigmented blush because it's very easy to go overboard with your cheek colour and very difficult to pull it back. So this is a nice natural looking pink and it's not so highly pigmented. Some of the more luxury brands actually are more pigmented and you have to be a little bit more cautious with those ones. I'm going to place a tiny amount up on my temples and again blend that in with my fingertip. I like to use a powder blush as well, and today I'm going to go in with this L'Oreal Le Blush. This is in Rosewood. I do like to apply a powder blush with a brush, and I've got a slightly smaller, fluffier brush here so we have some control over where it goes, and we are just going to go on this sort of high point of the cheekbones and work that out from the middle outwards. Being careful not to go too close to the eyes, too close to the nose, too close to the mouth, and it seemingly is more flattering on me and perhaps also on you to stay in this sort of cheekbone region and then to bring it up and around onto the temples as well. For some reason, that is more flattering on my face than it is to bring it too far forward or too far down. And again, if you want, you can dab a little bit on your nose just to bring some harmony to all those colours. And a touch on the chin won't hurt. I am a little bit conscious of my unruly brows, so today I'm going to use the e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel. Sometimes I do this before my makeup, sometimes after. It sort of depends on the product because some products kind of impact on your foundation if you apply them after, and some get muddied in with your foundation if you apply them before. So it's best to have a bit of experimentation with your chosen brow gel to see what order of application works best. This is more of a kind of a waxy product, so this I'm going to apply now after I've done my base. Hopefully those brows will stay pointing up and out now for the rest of the day. For eyes, I'm going to use a combination of eyeshadow sticks and also some liquid eyeshadows. I'm going to start with this L'Oreal Le Shadow Stick, and this is in the shade Alluring Rose. I'm going to apply this in the crease area and get ready with a brush to blend this out quickly before it dries down. I'm actually going to bring that slightly down over the lid as well. And then I have this small, slightly fluffy brush ready to blend this evenly across the eye area. This shade is very close to my skin tone to kind of just give us that initial neutral looking base. So I've got these metallic liquid eye shadows from e.l.f. and we're going to put those on the eyelids in just a moment. Before that though, I am going to line my eyes with some bronze and brown pencils. For underneath the eye, I'm going with the Rimmel Exaggerize liner in the shade Taupe. The Taupe is a really natural, flattering looking shade that works brilliantly under the eye. To tight line, I'm going to use this MCO dual-ended pro eyeliner in chocolate. I absolutely love to tight line the upper lash because it helps make that lash line look really thicker. I'm going to start to bring some bronze into the equation now with this L'Oreal Infallible Gel Automatic Eyeliner in the shade Bronzed Espresso. I'm going to take this along the upper lash. Just try to fill in any gaps along the lashes. Now I'm going to go in with this liquid eyeshadow from e.l.f. in the shade Moon. I'm going to go across the lid with this one. I'm going to start to blend that with a flattish eyeshadow brush. The other eye. Just going to build this up a little on the inner corner and blend. And now we can go in with our darker shade Galaxy on the outer corner. Just apply like that and blend in, just like so. I'm going to wipe this brush off and then we will blend the colours together. So sit back and check that everything looks even. And when you're happy, it's time to proceed to the mascara. Today I am using the Rimmel Thrill Seeker in the shade Cappuccino. We just wiggle along the lashes to get a nice application. Wiggle. Getting it right in at those roots. And lips are always the fun part, and this is where you get to decide, do you want to go natural or do you want to go dramatic? To start with, I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liner in the shade Pinky Swear. So that is our Pinky Swear lip liner. And then we might go in with this Milani Keep It Full Glossy Plumping Balm. So there is our plumping balm. Or we might go in with our Maybelline Superstay Teddy Tint in the shade Skinny Dip. And so there is our Maybelline Skinny Dip. Thank you for watching today's foolproof step-by-step guide to applying your makeup. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please hit that subscribe button, and you might also like to take a look at another video right here. Don't forget to stay curious, and I'll see you next time.